We go, mics are on. And well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is August 13th, 14th,
yeah.
One of those days.
13th.
We're back for another weekly episode of talking about Game of Thrones and all crazy things fantasy that we know nothing about. I'm Nima.
I'm Remy.
And we really appreciate you guys joining. You might hear a really loud fan going in the background. That's just my computer doing its best not to overheat. That's what's happening right now.
Everybody, cross your fingers for Nima's computer.
Right. And also in hopes that my house doesn't go up in fire. We missed last week for that exact reason. My computer CPU was overheating by a lot. So it wouldn't even turn on at that point. But we're back. We have a temporary solution.
What episode are we talking about today?
Episode 5. It is called Eastwatch. Boom. Test me again.
Good job, Nima. What reunion happened on today's episode? That was pretty touching and significant.
Reunion?
Yeah, like two characters getting together again after.
What's his name? Gendry and
Gendry, I think his name is.
What's the I forgot the other guy's name. The main character that he's been with us for a long time.
Jorah?
No, not Jorah. Is it Jorah? Am I wrong?
Jorah. The one that's in love with Daenerys.
No. Who did Gendry reunite with? What's his name? The guy who has no fingers.
The Onion Knight, or Sir Davos.
There you go. The guy. I love that guy.
But that was not Nima. That was not that significant. I mean, it was cool to see Gendry again because last time he was seen, he was like rowing away on a boat. Seasons ago.
Okay.
I'm not sure why Davos went and got him.
I don't know either.
I was talking about another reunion, Nima. Another more.
You're talking about Daenerys and the crush that. What's his name?
Jorah.
Yeah, Jorah. Lord
the Explorer, who is now cured of dragon scale or rock scale or.
Yeah, I mean, dude looks great now. But yeah, what did you? Well, I mean, we can dive right into that. What did you think about the reunion?
I don't care. I feel more when it's like those Stark siblings getting back together. That's always better to me.
So not much here. I feel like the love triangle thing is kind of weird to me.
Love triangle?
Am I the only one that's seeing it? Am I the only one that's
what are you talking about?
Between Jorah, Dany, and Jon Snow?
I don't think it's a love triangle. I think Daenerys is in love with Jon Snow.
Yeah, obviously, which I love. I love that now.
Well, it's not obvious. It seems what's obvious to me is that how they produce those parts of the show. It's like they want the audience to think that Daenerys is in love with Jon Snow
because she's in love with Jon Snow. Like it's not a conspiracy.
But is she? Because she's his aunt.
Wait, what? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Wait, before
keep up with it, man.
All the viewers that we're about to lose, and I apologize, but I know very little about Game of Thrones. I'm not as excited of a fan as a lot of you people, but I appreciate it. So, what do you mean, Daenerys is Jon Snow's aunt?
Yeah.
In a way that you're talking about because of the birth scene in the flashback?
Yes.
I count that as like distant aunt. I'm not in my head. I thought you were like aunt, like.
No, that's her aunt. Her aunt.
But like not in a way that she
Jon
helped
Snow
raise
is
him.
her nephew.
Okay, I mean.
And obviously, he got in touch with a dragon, so it's kind of hinting more and more that he's gonna find out soon that he's a Targaryen. No, yes, Targaryen, dragon people.
I feel like the whole aunt thing is a non-issue.
Anyways, wait. Well, let's go back a little bit. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in.
Go ahead.
Thanks again for tuning in. Sorry we haven't been around for a few weeks. That's because we have technical difficulties, and it really is annoying to us because we don't get to do this. But we're excited. That was episode 5, Eastwatch. Did you see Nima in the intro where they put Eastwatch on the intro map?
No, I didn't, because I pay attention to other things when the intro thing is going on. But somebody at my work, which, goes to show how ignorant you and I are about this. Somebody at my work was like, yeah, they were looking at the map last episode and trying to figure out where the battle took place on the map. And I was like, map? What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? You didn't know it?
I didn't know there was like an official one. And so she literally took a picture on her phone, sent me 2 pictures of the south and the north. And I was looking at it at work, and I was like, this fucking helps a lot. Now I'm no longer like I'm an idiot. But
so how close is Dragonstone and King's Landing?
I don't just look at my memory.
At this point, people are just traveling back and forth and like really quickly. The story's going really fast.
Yeah.
News is going really fast.
They're taking a speed rail back and forth between King's Landing and everything else. I know.
I got sidetracked, but if you're here and hoping for in-depth discussion about the show, I'm sorry, we're kind of quite ignorant and no attention span whatsoever. Spam, not spam. Anyways,
this thing that just happened is a pretty good example of what's going to happen during the whole show. It's fine.
So sorry about that. What do you think of Littlefinger? Why is he trying to? Is he trying to pin the 2 sisters together now?
Yeah, that's the feeling that I got. Yeah.
He's met Arya once, but he didn't know she was Arya.
When was that?
A few seasons ago, where Arya was like on her own, and somehow she ended up being his servant for a little bit.
I have very little memory of that, but I believe you.
Okay, well.
No,
anyways.
I think Arya her character is grown up in a way that obviously even earlier in this episode she was kind of butting heads against Sansa.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting the way that he's kind of utilizing that in a way to, I assume, do more of his conniving planning and plotting to do something, to get power or whatever it is. But like you mentioned, it's moving really fast. Like we've gone from Arya being reunited with her sister to Arya and her sister fighting in a span of 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes. I mean, they're not flat out fighting, but I feel like it's coming.
I know.
And that letter that she found in Lord Baelish's room was a fake, right? I imagine
that was fake. That was part of Littlefinger's ruse.
Did you catch what that letter said at all?
Signed by Sansa. So it was fake, and I think something about her wanting to get the throne now for herself.
Oh, really?
I think so. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
So
I don't want to see. I feel like at this point we don't have any viewers, so I shouldn't really worry about it. But what did you think about the last episode?
I thought it was cool. Again, it's another fast-moving, big things, big plot twists happening. Finally, we see the dragons in action. The big wars happen between Cersei and Daenerys. Things are happening. And at the end, obviously, it was like, oh my God, is Jaime going to die? And you're like, no, he's not going to die.
I was kind of... It would have been interesting if they killed it off. If they killed him off in that episode. It would have been... Not that I wanted, because I actually really like Jaime as a character, but it would have been one of those gut punches that this show is kind of known for.
Yeah, we haven't seen one of those in a while. I thought the dragon was going to eat Jon Snow's hand.
In this episode?
That would have been a gut punch.
Oh, man. Like, that whole sequence was so predictable and so lame to me.
Why was it lame?
Like, you've been talking about this whole thing about Jon Snow getting on a dragon, riding a dragon, right? Like,
no, I don't know. Jon Snow. I want his brother Bran. Brother.
I thought so. Okay, somebody in our chat was talking about how Jon Snow should get on the dragon and
fight with maybe. Hey, dude, maybe he will.
It seems like he's going to, right?
There's 2 more dragons that can also be rode,
right, and commanded, or whatever way it is. I just think that whole sequence wasn't that well done. Like,
but I think it was important. I think they tried really hard to show that Daenerys is falling in love with Jon Snow.
During that sequence or another sequence?
This whole episode and the last episode.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I agree.
But more in this episode. So maybe that scene was just for that purpose.
Maybe not. But I completely agree. Like, she gets like teary-eyed when he's talking about leaving to go past the wall to get a Walking Dead person. I forgot what they're called. Zombie
person. Yeah, a zombie.
Like
White Walker.
White Walker.
Hmm.
I just I don't like. Jon Snow is an incredible character, and I actually really enjoy, like, finally I'm enjoying something about Daenerys, which is the vulnerability that she has with Jon Snow. I actually really like that as a character, because so far this season she hasn't been somebody that I enjoy much. So this little part of her is really good. Actually, in the last few seasons, anytime she's on the screen, I'm like, I don't really care. Like, what? You have a dragon. Let me guess. And it's going to be something about a dragon again. Then we're just going to cut back to something else.
You're just saying you're appreciating the fact that there's more depth to her now.
Yeah, and like in the past, she seems like she's been controlling guys to get whatever she wants, but now she seems deeply attached to a person. Now that she's genuinely worried about him going to a mission that he may not come back from. So I actually really enjoy that, but I feel like certain parts of, maybe I'm just stuck on that one sequence with the dragon petting thing. Like, it was kind of unnecessary. It was important to see Jon connected to the dragon. It was not important at all to cut to shots of Daenerys looking over at Jon, being like, what's happening right now?
No. Wait, he touched my dragon. No, I think it's more like, okay, maybe it's not a romantic love for him that she's developing. Maybe it's like there's a deeper thing that she doesn't understand it, because they are blood relation. They're related via blood, so maybe there's this like familial connection happening, and that's what it's trying to convey with these shots of her, being kind of teary-eyed and in depth in her brain. You know what I mean?
Do you really not want there to be a love connection? Because I feel like there is, man. Like, I mean, if they say live, they're gonna do it. Is what I'm saying.
They could. Okay, there's definitely a connection. Those scenes were made on purpose for us to feel like there's like she has a connect more from her than from him.
Right.
But maybe it's not a romantic one. Maybe it's a family tie one.
No.
We don't know. Maybe she knows something that we don't. Maybe she knows of her long distance lost nephew.
Has that ever been hinted on at all? That she knows something?
We don't know. Like, she left when she was like a teenager, and so we don't know what she's heard before she had to flee Westeros.
Okay.
Who knows? Oh, well, how do you feel about Sam leaving the Citadel? Because he's frustrated or whatever.
I love the Citadel. I think it's an incredible place in this world that exists, and I want to know more about it. But Sam leaving the Citadel, I'm intrigued about what he's going to do next, because he stole a bunch of books and scrolls. And
I just hope he had the time. I just hope he knew what he was stealing. Like,
no, I completely agree.
Yeah, I'm sure he does, but like, he's pretty much, he wants to save the man from the White Walking threat.
That whole the scene where he's going in the night, he's at the Citadel library, and it's a beautiful place, but he's stealing books because he's determined, he's done with it, and he just wants to take control. That was my main question I had as that sequence was going through. Books, I kind of got it. I was like, okay, I guess you know what kind of books you're grabbing. But when he started grabbing scrolls from the top, and it's just like grabbing them.
Are they all copies of one another? What's the deal?
Exactly. And I'm just like, you're not even looking. You're just grabbing the top two and going and making a mess of whatever that was left before. So the next person that
why would they edit it that way?
I think it's just
like, everything makes a lot of logic in this show. Why would they show this? Like, why would they have this edit of him just picking a scroll out of other scrolls? Like, he doesn't even know what he's taking.
This is where you and I disagree, because not everything makes logical sense in this show. Like, I feel like this is another example of things that it's not a bad show. Every piece of like media has like certain flaws like this, simply because they probably don't have enough time to be able to establish certain things. Like, I imagine that library, just like every other library, has an organizational method that Sam at this point knows exactly what scrolls those are. But aside from a couple of like quick sequences that he works in the library, we have no idea why he would grab those scrolls as opposed to any of the other 100 that were on that shelf.
Yeah, maybe he put that there for later. I don't know. And how did he get that key? Is that the same key that he stole a long time ago, or is it something that he acquired because of his good deeds.
That is a really good point. I have no idea because
And
he
by
didn't
the
have
way-
access.
What?
He didn't have access to that room before.
No, he didn't. He stole the keys once. Remember that?
Right,
I don't know
right.
if you made a copy of it at Home Depot or anything. Okay, so right before he does the stealing and leaves, his wife Gilly is telling him about these like facts about the Citadel that he just doesn't care about because he's writing. And apparently, one of the last facts is pretty relevant. I think it talks about like Jon Snow's parents falling in love.
Really?
I think so.
Oh, the annulment and the marriage, is that what you're talking about?
I think so. Mariah was saying that Sam is missing some crucial information, but now I'm thinking about it. Maybe he's not missing it. Maybe that's the one thing that pushes him to go do this.
I think I mean, what does Mariah really know? She doesn't even like this show. And secondly, no, I think she's right about that. That whole sequence was, especially her side of it, was written in a way to make you think, or to put in the back of your head that, hey, she's dropping some really important information that he's not picking up because he's pissed off. Like, I felt like her line that she was quoting certain things was leading to something if she hadn't already said it, but I just didn't pick it up. So it's good to know that Mariah thinks that it's about the parents of Jon Snow falling in love. Who were the parents of Jon Snow? Obviously, I know the dad, but like they never got married.
No, the dad was not the Mad King.
Jon Snow, the dad is fuck. I keep forgetting.
Don't say. Do not say Ned Stark.
I'm not. That's why I was about to say Ned Stark, and then I was like, no, that whole flashback was that it's not Ned Stark.
It's I think it's the Mad King's brother.
Right. Okay.
Right.
But the Mad King's brother is.
And it's the Mad King's brother and Ned Stark's sister.
Okay.
Pretty sure. And then she dies giving birth to Jon Snow.
Who how does what's his name? I wrote it down. How does Gendry fit into this? He was the nephew of, no, he was the son of.
He's one of the son of
not
whatever Baratheon. Gosh, we suck at this, dude.
Which one? Which Baratheon? Which Baratheon?
The one king that's friends with Ned at the very beginning of the story.
Okay, so he wasn't. What was his relation to? God, if I knew names, it would be really easy to have this conversation right now. Let me find out.
Don't you have like your list in front of you, or
Stannis? What's his relation to Stannis? Would he be the nephew of Stannis? Is that what I'm thinking?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I guess right now he might be the rightful heir to the throne, or he used to be anyways.
Right, and I'm really glad they brought him back because I remember in the episode that was whatever seasons ago when they established that he could possibly be the rightful heir. I mean, he probably is, but they put that at, hey, this is the main character. In my eyes, it seemed like that was a character that they just completely left behind at that point. And I'm just like, I was like, oh yeah, there's this guy that's a huge deal. I'm glad they brought him back. And he fucking looks like Christian Bale the whole time to me. So I'm like, is Christian Bale in this show now? But no, he was badass too with his giant hammer.
Yeah, that's so cool. I want a hammer like that. He seems a little small to carry to like wave around this huge hammer.
What else? What you got?
I'm just. Oh, what about Cersei and Jaime and Tyrion? Like, what's going on there? Is Bronn gonna get murdered now? Is he gonna be put in jail?
Nah, I doubt it. Because, like, I mean, think about it this way: what significant event would it be to kill Bronn right now? Not much, right?
Cersei's crazy. She just wants to kill everyone.
Yeah, but I'm saying as far as the story event goes, killing Bronn doesn't do much. He's at in certain points he's a comedic relief, and other points he's kind of the third level character that saves the day in action sequences. But so it's not somebody that I think a lot of people will just go grasp when he dies. Like, it's not going to be something they do. Obviously, some sort of punishment maybe, but nothing big. But that whole sequence that you're talking about where Cersei mentions that he should be punished, or are you going to punish him? Did that seem like to you that she was kind of doing her own plotting against Jaime?
Yes, I think she is. I think her being pregnant is fake. And you know, one of Cersei's, like, when she was a child, she had her prophecy told to her by some kind of witch. Remember that?
Right, I remember that. Yep.
That she will like lose all of her children to death, and that one of her brothers is gonna kill her.
One of her brothers.
Could be Jaime or Tyrion.
Is there a
But
third brother that we don't know about, or is it just them two?
no, I don't. No, there isn't. But there's another theory that says that Tyrion also is a Targaryen, not a Lannister,
Hygarian.
or half and half. Yeah, like Daenerys or Jon Snow.
What's the basis of that story?
Tywin's wife was impregnated. I can't say that word.
Impregnated?
Yes, she was.
Why don't you just say pregnant?
She was made pregnant by.
God, that's what you're getting at? Go ahead.
Awful episode.
Best one yet. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey guys, thanks for watching.
Nobody's watching. Don't worry. It's you and I. Just keep going. You're fine.
She was made pregnant by the Mad King or some of his brothers or something.
Is that something that's hinted on? Is that something that everybody?
I don't think it's hinted on in the show, but it's hinted on, I think, in the book, or people just came up with their own theories.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen between him and the Queen, Dragon Queen?
I don't know. He's like tired of all the violence. He's like really tired of it. You can tell.
I don't know if it's all violence that he's tired of, but he obviously he disagreed with the executions at the beginning of this episode.
Right.
And I think he wasn't expecting the last episode's battle sequence to go as badly for them and as well for her as it ended up going.
Yeah. He sees all the death and destruction and stuff, and he's probably afraid that she's turning into a dictator.
She totally is. Absolutely is. She's pointlessly scary, and she has this fetish about people taking a knee for no reason. Like at every other sequence, like she's just pointing at people. Bend the knee. You right? I don't. It doesn't seem like the same with the same character. Like this character who's been freeing slaves all over the place. Now she's just like obsessed with people bending the knee for no reason, except Jon Snow, and she's totally cool with it. I know. That's something we didn't talk about, because I think it happened in the last episode. You know how there was they shared a moment in the cave about the history of them and whatever that was on the painter on the wall. It cut to immediately them leaving the cave, and I imagine, maybe I'm an idiot, but I imagine that was supposed to give a feeling that something happened between those cuts. Well, that's what I was asking. No. Do you think that happened? Do you think he bent the knee?
That could be very well true. I don't think he did though.
Okay.
But yeah, that could be true. Like last episode, there was that moment where anything could have happened in the cave.
What happens in the cave stays in the cave.
Yeah, stays in the cave.
That was a really good joke, man. Don't. You're like, yeah, all right.
Sorry.
What else you got?
What else you got, man? I keep coming up with all this stuff.
I don't know. Like, I kind of want to know if anybody's actually made it to this point. My question is, why do you watch this show? Like, what's the reason that everybody seems to love this show at this point?
I already told you, Nima. There's everything in this. There's drama, there's sex, there's violence, there's like medieval armies beating each other to death. There's freaking dragons, there's zombies, and there's all the seasons.
But I feel like everybody, almost a lot of shows do that now. So no, there has to be a personal reason, a personal connection between this show and a lot of different viewers. It could be different things for each one of the people. I just want to understand it.
People want to be queens. People want to be kings. People want to be badass warriors. People want to be,
That's a good way of putting it.
All kinds of things.
That's a really good way of putting it. And when you think about the vast differentness of the characters that they have, it makes sense. Like you could want to be somebody might associate themselves with Bran, while somebody else might associate themselves with Arya. That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Good for you, Remy.
That's how it. Thanks, Nima. Thanks. That's how it is with every show, man. Is trying to make people feel like they can be in this other character's shoes, and they'd be like, "Oh, I would totally do that. Oh, I would totally do this."
Do you think it's still as popular? I mean, I guess we could look up the numbers, but do you think it's still as popular as it was like 3 or 4 seasons ago? But maybe no. Yeah,
it has to be, because the plot thickens.
Yeah, but that's never a good enough reason to assume viewers come back. People do different things at different times.
No, man, this is the biggest story that we've seen in a while in pop culture.
True. I mean, and HBO's announced that they're gonna, what do you call it? They're gonna go against the hackers and stuff, and against torrenting, which is something they've been completely not
against
for.
What?
Torrenting, like people pirating the show, basically.
Oh. They're going to go against it? Oh my gosh.
They've been hands off.
No one's going to be able to watch this in Europe anymore.
That's the thing. They've been really hands off about it this whole time. Like, they've been hands off about people sharing login information. They've been kind of hands off about torrenting and all those things. But now I'm kind of wondering why. Because as soon as they announced that they're going to, be more strict against their show being pirated, which is, it's their show. It's their prerogative, whatever they want to do. As soon as they announced it, they got hacked. And as soon as they announced it, emails of the Game of Thrones characters got leaked. Their phone numbers got leaked. The actual episode script got leaked. And then immediately after, the actual episode got leaked. So
what?
it was a really bad couple of weeks for HBO. Like specifically for Game of Thrones. Because, the people that did it
Dude,
knew exactly.
I don't care. Like, you're HBO. You're making a lot of money. Why is your stuff not secure?
Dude, it is secure. It's not like it's sitting on somebody's laptop. But the thing with technology is that as secure as it is, there's always somebody that's one step smarter that can figure out how to break that lock.
I guess so, but they need to keep up with it.
Yeah, but I'm curious where it's going to go, and I really hope that HBO takes a step back and goes back to what they were doing before, which is saying that no matter how bad the pirating situation gets, people do it for a reason, and at the end of the day, it helps HBO because those people are pirating Game of Thrones to talk about Game of Thrones, to watch your shit. Like, at some point, you'll get some subscribers out of those that won't. Like, I have a close friend of mine that literally is somebody that says, if I can't pirate a show, I just simply won't watch it. Like, it's not important enough that he'll go pay for a subscription. And it's not something that he says all the time. Like, he actually does this. So
sure, but I mean, $15 a month. Are you kidding me?
No, that's not for me to be convinced for. I pay $15 a month for a lot of things and $30 a month for like TV subscription. But
I hope so. I hope that no one's paying $15 a month just for this show.
They absolutely are.
Wow.
Oh God, yeah.
Like I said, it's only $15 a month.
Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of people are smarter with their finances. Like $15 a month
sure.
is probably not a smart decision for most of us, but we still pay it because we get entertainment out of it.
Yeah, but entertainment is important.
Of course, I don't disagree.
We're
doing this thing because we enjoy entertainment.
This is like one of the only shows I ever watch once a week.
Right. That's actually something I was thinking about. Like, I'm not as huge of a fan of this show as a lot of people are, but I still appreciate it. I appreciate that it exists, and I appreciate a lot of good things that it does. But if you and I weren't doing this, weekly talk thing, would you be still watching this show weekly?
This one, yes.
You would. I wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't have watched the other shows before this.
Right.
I definitely wouldn't have watched The Leftovers. I would have probably watched Westworld, and I don't think I would have watched The Young Pope or Big Little Lies.
I agree. I wouldn't have watched any of those shows weekly if we weren't doing this. Like, I would much rather wait roughly about a year and 6 months, whatever it takes, and then
binge watch all of them.
Yeah, and find out if it's good enough, and then binge watch it.
It's like House of Cards, man, was so not good this season.
Let's hope next season, if there is a next season, that's going to be better.
I don't know.
I'm sure.
I don't even know if I finished watching it. There might be a few more episodes I haven't watched yet.
What's the last thing you remember from House of Cards?
Is when Claire does not pardon.
Yeah. You watched all
Frank.
of it then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the last one. Because she looks at the camera and she's like, "My turn."
And he's at a place far from the White House. Yeah. Anyways,
back to this.
Back to this.
So now they're gonna go into
past the
wall to grab a few White Walkers so that they can bring him to Cersei to convince her that we need to fight them instead of amongst each other.
Right.
And then conveniently you get the Lord of Lights people, like there's two guys and the Hound.
Uh-huh.
It's like full of reunions this episode.
That seemed really convenient to me that they're like, oh yeah, we picked up these guys and they're in the same place now. But
yeah.
If let's speculate a little bit about what's going to happen in the next couple of episodes, especially past the wall. How do you think that whole grabbing a few White Walkers is going to go? Like, how do you think they're going to do that?
I think half of these men are going to die.
Okay. That's a safe bet since we haven't even seen half of their faces. Like, you already know that, this guy's going to die.
I think it's going to be a pretty badass fight next episode with the White Walkers. I think we're going to learn more about what Littlefinger is doing with Arya's feelings, and maybe she's smarter than him, and she figures out.
Nobody's smarter than Littlefinger. I love Lord Baelish for that. He's a fucking genius. He's a creepy genius.
Yeah, he's quite creepy.
I mean, if I'm right and he is actually smarter than her, she could end up dying, and that's going to meet his goals. As much as I hate that, as much as this has been a character that we've been following for last, 5-6 years now. Like,
Arya?
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't care about Arya.
Sad. You don't?
No. She's really annoyed me in this episode. I feel like shut up, just wait, and let's see what happens.
Right, but she's done a lot of growing on her own.
Yeah, I know, but she's got an attitude towards her sister, and
she's right.
Why? Okay, what is she right about?
That whole thing that you're talking about, the attitude with the sister, is because of that sequence that she wasn't defending Jon, and then she was kind of lax with the other people in the room, and then they had a fight. Not a fight. They had a discussion or an argument in her room about she could have been tougher. She needs to defend Jon. Like, she could start killing people that basically go against her or Jon's wishes. Like, you remember that at the very end of that discussion.
At the same time, Sansa is smart because her point is good as well.
Just because your point is good doesn't mean you're smart. Just because right.
What I'm saying is that Arya she should know that they're both right, and that's where they're at. It's a very weird diplomatic situation. So she didn't need to have that attitude when Sansa's trying her best, because she has to, because that's how it is. Like, they both are right here.
They are, but remember, Arya is kind of having an attitude because she sees past this facade that her sister's putting on. It's not a negative thing. She's not trying to connive anybody, but she's dealing with her inner thoughts about how is she going to handle this whole thing when Jon doesn't come back. How is it going to work out for her? And that was the whole point of the argument, is the fact that as much as, Sansa is saying that she's doing what she can for Jon, Arya pointed out that you're kind of deep down inside making all your decisions with the thought in the back of your head that how is this going to work out for me when Jon doesn't come back? So Arya's not wrong. Arya's just the person in that room that's pointing out the truth.
She's not wrong. She's just annoying. But Sansa is not wrong either. So she's got some truth as well. And neither of them know if Jon Snow's going to come back or not. Arya's just being cautious. Sansa is being
hopeful.
A little too much so. Believes that he's going to come back for sure. No, the other one, she's too optimistic. Arya is too,
pessimistic, right?
I don't know. Either way, they're both right and wrong, and it's annoying. I was annoyed at that scene. I was like, oh, I can't wait for that scene to be over. Pointless.
What did you think in the last episode? The scene that Arya kind of shows how much of a fucking badass she is.
Yeah.
I love that sequence.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I love, what's his name? Oh, dang it.
Go on. Tell me. Describe and I can find
Brienne
it.
of Tarth.
Oh, the boyfriend? The crush?
No. Not the redhead guy that's now with Jon Snow trying to snatch a zombie. No, the other guy, the Podrick.
Which one's Podrick? Help me out.
Podrick is Brienne of Tarth's assistant.
Oh, what happened to him?
He's still around.
Was he in this episode at all?
No, he was in last episode.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. He was in that sequence. That I'm talking about, right?
What if he becomes the new king?
Really? What? I'm just gonna
Who
fix
knows?
him. Does he have any significance? Like, is he related to anybody in any way?
He's been there since like season 1. He's seen Tyrion. He's just cool. Like, he's one of those funny characters. Because like Tyrion's not really funny anymore. He's just depressed. He started drinking again. It's all downhill from here, buddy.
I kind of wonder why he isn't. Like, why he's no longer used as that big comic
relief.
Yeah.
Because dude, character growth. Like, he's seen some shit, and now he's just like, oh my gosh, am I following the wrong person? We also don't know exactly what was said between Tyrion and Jaime. And remember how Cersei was like, we should get Tyrion to, help us with all this.
You know what it could be? It could be because, I assume same with you is in the past we may have seen big chunks of Game of Thrones at the same time. So it's like seeing you every day. I don't notice small changes between today and tomorrow or next week and all those things. But if I don't see you between now and like 4 weeks from now, I'm going to notice a big change in you. So that could be what it is the fact that, like, for me personally, I've binge watched most of Game of Thrones. So I've gone from episode to episode, season to season, almost back to back. So I can see this almost smooth, a character arc when now we're going from taking a year or something off in between. So these character changes that you and I have been bringing up almost in every episode, that they're jarring. There simply might be jarring because of this gap that we haven't been in touch with these characters for so long. And I don't even mean in the games, and I mean in the show's world. I don't know how long things take, but I mean literally in our time, it's been a really long time between where we left the characters off and now we're back watching them again.
Oh yeah, like a year ago.
Right, whenever that was. Actually, it was a year ago, right?
Yeah. I want to know how long it takes for, like, Jon Snow to go from, like, Dragonstone to Eastwatch.
Find that map. I'm gonna.
And then
email.
Tyrion and Davos were like, in the same episode, they went from Dragonstone to King's Landing back to Dragonstone.
Yep.
And on the intro map, you can tell, like, first you see King's Landing and then you see Dragonstone. They're really close to one another. But, like, a couple of 100 miles maybe close.
Speaking of them two being close, you know how Cersei, right? Cersei is kind of saying that she's going to agree to meet with Daenerys, and for her own reasons. What do you think she's planning?
Everybody's first thought was like, "Ooh, what is she planning?"
Do you have any theories? Okay. Does Mariah have any ideas? Like, did she say anything?
No, she hasn't yet. Who knows? It's just from now it's going so fast that it's kind of pointless to speculate. I just know that Brandon Stark's going to drive a dragon, and that Jon Snow is probably going to ride one, and that most of the characters that we like are going to die, like Arya, Sansa, whatever. Maybe Littlefinger is the one character that's going to stay standing in the end.
That would be badass. If all those things that you mentioned happen, I would like that.
Yeah, I'm sure one of the dragons is going to die.
Yeah, I do too. Like, whatever happened to the main one being wounded in the last episode?
Ah, he's good now. Dragons they heal really fast.
So does that mean they established that even the big spear thing that they were planning is not going to work? Is that what they established?
Well, no. That spear, if it landed in his head, dragon just fall dead.
Okay, I guess. Sure.
So, square about. If you get shot, you're not going to die if you get shot in the arm.
Are you yawning right now? Are we boring you? I don't know, man.
I don't know. I think, did we cover all of it?
Let me see.
I think
I'll look
so.
at my notes.
I think we covered all of it.
Yes, we did.
Okay. Cool.
My main thing was Jon Snow touching dragon, bend the knee, Citadel Library, and Lord Baelish. Do we want to wrap it up?
Wrap it up.
All right. Well, whoever is brave enough that they're still sticking around, we appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll be back next Sunday, as long as things don't take a shit. I'm Nima.
Remy.
And we haven't even asked. If you're still sticking around and you haven't subscribed to us, it would be great if you could like, comment, all those things. And you can catch us live next week. But we appreciate it. Remy seems tired, so I'm going to let him go. Everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye. You all right, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. I'm good.
You want to say good one more time? There you go.
Hey, I could not see our YouTube feed at all.
Why? It's going for me, though, so it's definitely going.
Anybody,
internet?
Did anybody watch us?
No. It was basically just you and I, though.
Gosh, damn it.